everyone. This is Kev, and this is BMBBH. And for the first time ever, I'm broadcasting from inside my Facebook page, BMBBH YouTube. So you can find it on Facebook in those exact terms, BMBBH YouTube. Just wanted to come to y'all for a moment here. I won't take too much of anyone's time tonight, but just wanted to talk about the controversy surrounding the film King Richard. Now, sometimes I would like to think and I would like to believe that we can't be this conflicted as people. You know what I'm saying? Because there was controversy about this film even before the film was released in theaters and on HBO Max. Okay, but I mean, it's caused a stir as of late, so let's get this one out the way because, we don't want to be the kind of people that, isn't fair in our presentation. So, bring up the slideshow here real quick. All right. So, this caused quite a stir. This went viral, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys something. I really do like the response from blacks on this one, but it's still in a way lackluster, and I'll explain why. But with any solidarity is better than no solidarity at all. But let's read this what is on the screen here. It was from a Dr. Jessica Taylor. Now I don't know if she's some famous person or she's just some big personality, but obviously she matters in some kind of way because this got attention from the mainstream news. So it states, or she states on Twitter, and I'm not a huge fan of Twitter, but when it's newsworthy, then we shall talk about it. Says, did they seriously make a film called King Richard about the success of Serena and Venus Williams? But it's about their dad, Richard. Uh, and then she goes on to say, I get this has annoyed people, but I genuinely didn't expect a film about two of the most powerful, that word is used so loosely, powerful, successful, and amazing black female athletes to be named after a man or center a man. I would have loved this film to be all about them and not a man. That's it, really. Yeah. Mhm. Well, first of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it to y'all like this. Yes, white people they need to mind their business when it comes to black affairs, especially feminists. This is obviously some feminist woman's rights, whatever woman saying this because she wanted the she's saying what she wanted was the film to be centered around the powerful women, Venus and Serena. It should not, and she even made her position clear. It should not have to be centered around a man. Now, as I show this example of overt Eurofeminism, this is a doctrine a lot of sisters like to follow as well. I mean, I do like the fact that they came forward that this is not and said things to this woman or responded to this woman, this feminist, like, hey, this is not the narrative you used to, are you? I mean, yeah, and I mean, it seemed like this ain't the narrative that we used to either. Shit. I mean, it ain't like we give it a big heave hole for black dads all over the place now, do we? Even though, and this was stated throughout various reports that the CDC says that black fathers are the most involved with their children, whether they're married to the mother of the children or not. Now, why are we not spreading that? Because guess what? See, a lot of you are upset, uh, and let's not take the emphasis off. How Eurofeminism is somewhat I say trash, and just like Dr. Jessica Taylor should mind her business. But before this movie even came out, let me show you something else. Okay, now I don't know who typed SMH idiot in the screenshot itself, but I'm sure they were referring to Amanda Seals, but I got the screenshot off Google. It says Amanda Seals accused of hating black men after criticizing King Richard biopic. Um, I would say that no, this isn't accurate basically because she's been accused of hating black men before then, and I don't think that's that much of an accusation since she seems to keep going after black men publicly. Let's not forget Myron Rolle. Now, if we're going to blame Dr. Jessica Taylor for what she said, and it say that we did factor in race. Say we did that. Say we did factor in race. You know, the mentality is we should be blaming Dr. Jessica more than we should be blaming Amanda Seals for her view on it. Now, let me read what Amanda Seals said. Said Amanda Seals, Will Smith is playing Richard Williams. Also, why is this film about Richard Williams? Uh, the film explained it. History explains it. The media explains it. I had to explain to someone earlier this week is if it wasn't for that man, Venus and Serena, I'm not saying that, they would not have been smart enough. They wouldn't have probably rose to the heights of tennis fame like you know, like they should have with their father. I mean, without their father being there. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it was pretty likely that they probably would have ended up cashiers at Walmart and on Crenshaw or whatever. Um, I'm just saying, like, why is it always this gallant, always this big ass effort to demonize black fatherhood? You say you want black fathers involved. You say black fathers should be there, step up to the plate. Where are these black dads at for these kids? The reasons why is because the fathers aren't there. You say that, and then you get a black dad in place. Doing for his kids, being there for his kids, being that difference maker, being that very big influence, big positive influence. Because if you're going by the film, and I did watch the film, and this is going to be somewhat of a soft review of King Richard because I mean I believe the man deserved his due. And what is this? What talking about? I'm trying to keep the language soft because I'm on Facebook right now. And what is this old bi talking about? Shit, Serena and Venus were the executive producers, and then they wouldn't even sign off on it till they watched the film. Will Smith states that it was the what he said probably the most excruciating worst 2 hours of his life, seeing that he was going to get the approval. And yeah, shoot, if it gets the approval of the two sisters themselves, I don't think they're going to make a much of a bigger stink about. Well, it wasn't about us. It was about. It wasn't about us. It was about our daddy. Like when y'all speak like that, you sound like you're out of turn. So so let me talk about the film for a little bit. Since Will Smith is King Richard. Now, as far as Will Smith goes, I'm going to try to focus on more of his aspect in the film and not so much of what's going on outside as far as whatever's going on with his family life. But what I will say is this: Will Smith is a talented, stellar actor, performer, and he seems to do really good when it comes to biographical content. And his his presentation of Richard Williams, I wouldn't say it was like bang on. Like he not. I mean, the movie was great. He presented an assertive dad, and That right there is the image that we need out there for black men. Men who, you know, care about the children and see, that I mean, if you watch the film, and Richard Williams, like, he was like, I would say yesterday's LeVar Ball, except for his daughters, really have done way better in their success than what the other ball, the ball kids are doing right now. I mean, the ball kids are just getting started, but Venus and Serena have gone on to world class greatness. And they felt like that story deserved to be told, of the effort their father put up. And I mean, he, if you really think about it, if you watch the presentation of the film itself, he was presented as a very assertive, very just, look, I want what I want. That's it. I'm not gonna let you, is parting my language. I'm not gonna let you white folks take control of my kids, because I mean, and he made a very good point. He said he didn't want them to take control, and then they go all over the world, and then they get involved in this culture to where they're introduced to little things such as drugs and alcohol, and dudes, probably trying to take advantage of them. I mean, he was what you call a protector, I would say. He didn't want his daughters competing in junior, because the mindset was going, no, you're going pro. You're going pro. Period. And it's like, what was wrong with that? You're supposed to have that confidence in your children. If you're training them for greatness, if you're training them to be champions, you're supposed to have that confidence. And it was confidence that he displayed. Just imagine if, if if he didn't have that kind of confidence in them. I mean, think about it. Serena Williams. What image you get? No, I mean, leave her personal life out of it. I understand that. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna go at it. You'll see in a little bit. But think about what she's accomplished in the tennis world. Think about that, and you tell me if that father wasn't as adamant as he was, or as he was presented, would they have been that successful? I know some of you, women out there be like, what about the mama? She was an athlete too. Yeah, 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 we know. But I mean, it takes the support of a woman, to, just kind of move to the side and let the father do his thing. Of course, he had to assert his position many times, but, he made sure that he was the one that was on top to give the direction. Period. It was his way or the highway. Because I mean, during those times, man, I mean, shit, if it had to be, black with black. It had to be, the parents had to be involved with the youngsters. Because quick, what quick fame does to these kids. Yeah, he said he wanted them to have regular childhoods. I mean, they could have had money like early on in, but he knew that wouldn't be good. You always hold out for the best deal possible, and teaching them, hey, you know what? I want to show my stuff first. Let's not jump. Let's not jump on the first thing that comes. He was a hustler. He was a negotiator. Like that slick move he pulled, like moving the floor. I think it was they moved to Florida to train with I think they got Rick Mason. Because the old boy thought that he was gonna let him like compete in the juniors, but he was like, Nah, if I'd have told you that back there, would you Jack carry me out here? He was like, trust me on this. Trust me on this. I mean, for real, he did anything and everything, even pulling some sly shit to make sure his daughters made it. But yet and still, we get shit like this. And we get shit like this. It's one of those times where I say, just say you hate black men. Just say you hate black family. I mean, black family with the black father included. I mean, shit. Like, look at the thumbnail. I mean, why I put LeVar Ball up there? Now, LeVar Ball is a spectacle. I mean, he is. I mean, let's just face it. This man went on WWE television messing with the wrestlers. But, I mean, and then they have their difficulties as a family, but sometimes let his sons tell it. Some of you would cut off your right arm to have a dad like mine. Look how they treated him at ESPN. I think LeVar Ball he just wasn't politically in tune, and you know what? That's okay. I myself am a connoisseur of the brutally honest, so I do understand that this is a black father that just wanted the best for his sons. And LeVar Ball was speaking that stuff. He was talking that stuff. Maybe he was taking pointers from Richard Williams. I watched Roland Martin earlier today. Yeah, I'm not a huge Roland Martin guy. Not as of late anyway. I mean, I just don't like the whole liberal Democrat shit. But Roland, he's okay at times. He was talking about this earlier, and he had mentioned the Dr. Taylor and the Dr. Jessica Taylor and the Amanda Seales comment, and they immediately went after they immediately went after the whole white women this, white women that thing. And you know what? They're right. They're right because it was Euro feminists that wanted the image of the father out of there, that wanted the image of patriarchy to be damned. Oh, the evil patriarchy that they won't let us get jobs, and they won't help us wash dishes at night, and it's ridiculous bullshit that anybody knows that any free thinking human being can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Language. Oh man. So they got a problem with this whole black dad thing. I mean, the image of black men. I mean, except for a few select TV shows that really tried to turn it around. Like, say for instance, another controversial figure. For some reason, I have to add the word controversy to this because every time there's a positive black dad image, there's always controversy. Look at it, Will Smith, controversy. Dad, he's a black dad. LeVar Ball, wasn't he removed from ESPN for making a sly comment toward a white woman that was being smug with him anyway? Controversy. LeVar Ball is brash and arrogant, but so what? Here's a zinger right here. Bill Cosby. Shoot, everybody know. If anybody who hasn't been under a rock knows what's been going on with Bill Cosby. Yet he has one of the most prolific, um, potent, positive television shows of all time about a black family. Yeah, I'm just giving you a few big examples. And we always got this little thing that we always saying, "Oh, black fathers aren't there. Damn the black fathers. Black men ain't shit." See, a lot of these people out here are saying this because their fathers weren't there. Let's just keep it real. A lot of these people that keep this bullshit, this BS going, didn't have their father in their home. Now, fortunately for myself, I had my dad in my home. Well, it wasn't my home; it was their home. I was living there, but you get the point. Now, if your father wasn't there, I'm sorry. If you grew up to be a productive human being in spite of all of that, I commend you. But don't come to me belly aching about black dads this, black dads that. I don't care. I mean, don't belly ache. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if you had sad dreams and wishes and nightmares about your dad not being there, if he wasn't there, and how much things could have been better because all your mother does is yap, 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 yap. I get it. I get it. You know. But if you're going to come to me and you're going to be like, black men ain't ish, or Richard Williams was a deadbeat dad, even though he was clearly there for Venus and Serena. Sorry, you need to factor in everything that has gone on in that man's life leading up to those moments because he wrote a 78-page plan to train champions. So, and then it's obvious that his 78-page plan works. So at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Just people that just don't want that black father image out there. What's important to the space, I believe, is the presence of assertive black fathers. Not, and I mean like, not, I mean, you gotta actually be there. You can't be like, oh man, like there's some black fathers that want to be there for their kids, but the baby mama will pull some dumb shit like she'll move a few states away, and I mean, unfortunately, the law works like that. And then people asking the question, oh, why aren't they fighting for their kids? You see, Richard Williams clearly fought for his kids, and you're still complaining. But we need the presence of more assertive black dads. I understand those situations where the baby mama's fucking you over. But if you can clearly be there and then you're just using your child as a virtue signal, yet you're a deadbeat, you shut the fuck up. I don't want you around me. But that wasn't Richard Williams at all. I mean, maybe his first situation was fucked up. His second situation was better. He was with a whole nother black woman. That's what we want, right? We want these black men with black women. Ebony's sister, too. She worked as a nurse. She put up with his ass not working to train the daughters. But he negotiated them into a really good life. So at the end of the day, he's still the provider. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I mean, if he sweet talked his way into that shit, hey, so be it. Y'all act like y'all want motherfuckers to damn scrub like floors with toothbrushes and just dig their fingers and just lose all their health. No, Richard Williams had a brain on him. Even though even though at times it would seem like, oh, okay, damn, he maybe I wouldn't have did things that way, but then at the same time, you don't have two world class champion daughters like he does. Let me talk about the scene where, like, on the inside of the film, where he was trying to, like, he had this, like he was training them, like he was going to the courts, those beat up tennis courts, and I think it was in Inglewood, and those the thugs, those I guess, I don't know, they weren't established as gang members, but you can only assume. But these old pooky ass Negroes started like trying to shout at his oldest daughter, and it's like, man, that's a young girl, man. Richard went to them guys. That's a young girl. Leave her alone. And then they jumped on him and beat him up. And then they jumped on him and beat him up again, and then put a gun on him. Because that's what those punks do. They want to feel powerful, and they want to beat you up, bully you, gang up on you, 5 on 1, 6 on 1, and then they want to pull a gun on you. Like that makes them the most powerful guy in the world. Now, this is a spoiler. If for those who haven't seen the film, this is a spoiler. So please, like, shut your ears for like the next 10 seconds if you haven't seen this film. The scene where Richard went and got the gun from his job and he was gonna go handle the boy, and he walked up. I said spoiler, and he walked up, and then old dude he he came out the store, and then like dude then somebody drove by and shot him. I didn't feel sorry for that motherfucker. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't feel sorry for him. I mean, I do believe that that there are some guys that are just so pookerized and such that they can't be helped, and that's one of them. I mean, especially you want to pull some old weird, creepy shit with a young girl. Hell, that was a shit. Life did us a favor with that. But I like the way he was willing to like just look, man. You ain't finna mess with my daughter. Period. I don't know if he would have shot him or not, but hey, you know what? Look at God. That's all I say. I know some people don't believe in God, but for those who do, look at God. Shit. Cortez Smith, what's going on? Phil Brad. Yeah, let me shout out to Chad a little bit. Thanks for coming by once again. Yeah, he says exactly. Smart work is greater than hard work. Yeah, I mean, I rather like, for some reason, like if someone would like write me a letter or with a check for $2 million. Hey, and it was like, hey, this is your $2 million. You don't have to know who I am. Have fun. Shit, I'll take it. Shoot. And like, I wouldn't care what nobody said. Oh man, you ain't earned that $2 million. Just make sure, just unattached, no stipulation, stipulation free. Somebody to give you $2 million. Shit, I'll take it. But hey, you know what? I know life isn't like that. But at the same time, yeah, Richard Williams was a smart man. He made sure that that he kept his daughter safe. That's what y'all want, right? Y'all want these black men to keep these black women safe, right? And that's exactly what he did with his daughters. Kept them safe. He made sure that hey, you know what? Well, y'all ain't finna get involved in all this other shit. It's rough out there. You're not gonna take the disrespect I took growing up. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody respect what you win, but they gonna respect y'all. I mean, for real, he was and I'm gonna say this as a cruel reality. He was a man that realized that he had his chance. Just like I'm at a point in my life where I do feel like that I have more to do, but for the most part, or for a lot of the part, I've had my chances with a lot of things, and now it's time to move on and try to do something, for my kid, and I can only hope it'll come of what Richard has done for his daughters. I always try to I always try to encourage my kid. Hey, you know what? You're beautiful. You're talented. You're smart. We're gonna find your strengths. And whatever we feel that you excel in, or wherever your strengths are, and whatever you like, and whatever you're interested in, we'll support it. Hopefully it's not like you know, playing with sock puppets. As an adult or anything like that. I hope it ain't that, but we'll do the best we can as parents. And if it lands you success and millions of dollars, as long as you enjoy it, and as long as you like doing it, hey, they like to put these guys in the vein of like uh cruel, very, like I would say Joe Jackson. Shit, when they made that Jackson story like that, all like Joe Jackson, all Joe Jackson was is a man who just whooped kids like people whoop their children. Yeah, I'm talking about some black dads. I'm just throwing it out there. Joe Jackson, he just whooped his kids like it just shit like black parents whoop their kids. Hell, my dad had some stories. It's like, damn, he'll just flat out child abuse. I was like, God. But Shoot, the way they scrutinize Joe Jackson for everything he's done for his kids. I mean, whatever path Michael Jackson took that led to his death. I mean, here's one thing that y'all have to understand. That was Michael's decision. Michael was well into adulthood when all of that happened. It wasn't like Joe Jackson was showing up to his house. I'm gonna whoop you when I want to. He wasn't doing that. After a certain point. But I mean, like, people came after Joe Jackson like they were all proud and perfect, and I ain't never done nothing to my kids or nothing like. I mean, I don't think my go to isn't exactly to put the belt on my kid, like for real. I mean, it's not that's not the go to because it's like I've tried to master the technique of shame on you. you know, ho- I don't know how much further that's gonna go, but I mean, like people acted like people people really put themselves on this high and mighty position. And with Joe Jackson, it wasn't so prominent that they would always go after black dads. The deadbeat dad narrative was kind of out there, but we didn't see it then. All we saw it was Joe Jackson just beat his kids. Shoot. Okay, all right. Uh, Had a little technical difficulty, but what's up, Primetime VA? Well, Prime VA 757. Thank you for the super chat. Seemed that he put some emojis down there. Can't really see what they are from StreamYard, but thank you for the super chat nonetheless. And super chat is open, and shoot, Cash App is open as well. I mean, you can. Not saying you can, but I'm saying you can. But let's get back to the conversation at hand. Just Joe Jackson, just black fathers. Yeah, shoot, who's another adamant black father? I mean, I could go to the whole James Evans thing, but James Evans, at the end of the day, he ain't like he was an example of assertion. But as far as being like a real good father, they tried to do that man kind of dirty. And not that and making that man have a sixth grade education and no job most of the time. It was fucked up. But I mean, he commanded so much respect. This is a fictional character, James Evans, off of Good Times. He commanded so much respect to the point where it's like on many of social media posts, oh, who would you rather have a father like? And then they'll like have a choice like James, Uncle Phil, uh, and a couple other dads. And it's like, why would? And I always ask this question: why would you want James? James is broke as fuck. Like, how did they get money? Government subsidies? Like, they had JJ working, the chicken shack and trying to sell paintings and shit. Do you really want you? I mean, what James like? What y'all like the fact that he would be whooping folks' ass? That's it. Man can't keep a job. I mean, then when he finally get a job, he die. See how they do black dads. See, that's what start like. Really, a lot of this shit started with the media. A lot of this shit started with the media. Their handling of the black male narrative, and they want to keep it that way. They don't want anybody to offer up a change in the way you view black fatherhood. You know, men like LeVar Ball, and then when black men are famous, they never focus on the fatherhood aspect of that guy. They'll focus on his fame, but him and how he is as a dad, pretty much nobody gives a fuck about. But we had like, and we had, and I'm gonna say this again, we had this image of the deadbeat dad that that is so pushed by Euro feminist tactics, but so supported by a lot of people in our black community, including a lot of black females and a lot of pookerized or bitter ass Negroes. I mean, we can hop all over the good doc. Well, whatever about good, but we can hop on her all we want. But how are we campaigning to reverse this narrative? Now, and I've always been this kind of person. It's not like I want you to cut out the BS. I want you to be willing to do it. Don't do it on my account. But as long as there's someone here to I mean, someone here to listen to all the BS that is being spewed out on mainstream media, there will always be some people here to oppose it. Now, Robert Nelson, we really need some kind of infrastructure to fight against the anti-black male American media. Some way to find lobbyists to change FCC laws and demonizing us, a collective of men. Okay, let me give you a very small example of what kind of opposition that is going to face. And it's a very easy one. It's called the black manosphere. Although that there are figures in the black manosphere that do leave this space in question. And that is the truth. That is being brutally honest. It is nonetheless a effort against the anti, as you say, Robert Nelson, anti-black male American media, and it's picking up steam in many ways. So, aside from the negativity that the space causes itself, and the space isn't perfect, and it isn't supposed to be perfect. The fact that I go to all these little cry spaces, and I mean, like, why do I go to them? Because yeah, I'm trying to study the opposition. I'm tactical. I'll say it like that. But I mean, going to all the trauma bonding cry spaces that say, "Oh, black men, blah blah blah, black manosphere," you know. But I know what you're talking about. Is there some way to find lobbyists to change FCC laws? And this is a lot of the issue that people have with the space itself. I'm not going to turn this into a space conversation. The fact that we should be going for political power. And I do agree with that sentiment. We should be going after some type of political change. And how we affect that is how what Robert Nelson is suggesting. But there that's going to have a lot of challenges that come with that. But I'm also not saying that we shouldn't give it a try. So thanks for the comment. Hybrid catastrophic impact X 83rd power. Good lord. Carl Winslow. Oh yeah, another black father image. Yeah, of a guy who never became a dad. Reginald Vale Johnson never became a dad in real life. But, he nonetheless, he's in the history books as Carl Winslow. You know, yeah. Well, yeah, he was a working black father. He had a pretty stable family, although there were issues on the outside. Those shows have a tendency to have like a goofy character replacing the senior male, and that's what happened with Steve Urkel. In Good Times it was JJ. Bill Cosby was smart enough to not let that happen on his show. It wasn't like Theo was gonna be like, I mean, Theo or even Cockroach, would you know rise to that occasion. But that's what usually happened. Yeah, he was replaced like Carl Winslow. He wasn't the strongest presence in the show. It was Urkel, even though Urkel was the big, geek nerd. And I always felt like that Urkel was used to kind of tarnish the image of the smart black man, because in reality, no one wants to look like Steve Urkel. No one wants to carry themselves like Steve Urkel. If I possessed the intelligence of Steve Urkel, I would be okay with that because I'm around here building teleporters and shit. But yeah, primetime VA Uncle Phil and Robert Nelson. Remember Kevin with the Good Time Show? The creator Ed Monte, Esther Roll, and John Amos was fighting the scripts. Yeah, yeah, they were. Esther Roll. Let me tell you this little tidbit. James wasn't even supposed to be in the show. James wasn't even supposed to be in the show. Esther Roll had to fight to get James written in the show, and then when they wrote James in the show, they gave him a sixth grade education and made him unemployed. But the way John Amos played that role, they people respected James. I don't think that he would be respected in 2021, but definitely, yeah, the kind of presentation that was, it came out at the right time. John Amos was a rabble rouser, and that's why he got put off the show. That let me see if I can tell it right. They had took him off the show. They called him. They said the good news, the show got renewed. The bad news is we're not bringing you back. We're killing James off. And then they got the JJ Dynamite show after that. Even Florida left the show for a while. She married Carl and they went off and had a little, I guess, honeymoon and went places. And he died. I guess her re-entry into the show as Carl died, and oh, she's back, and all this other stuff. They made Walona like the central woman for a little while, and then they introduced Janet Jackson as Penny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, I know about all the little conflicts that went in on Good Times. Oh, another thing is John Amos and Jimmy Walker. They recently started speaking. They never spoke to Jimmy Walker on set. They resented him, and I mean, like, it's like Jimmy didn't put up the fight that everyone else did, and I think that's where the resentment came from. He was okay with just being dynamite. Matthew Knowles can't deny his impact on Beyonce. Yeah, they put more in front of, oh, he cheated on Tina, whatever. Like I said, who gives a fucking damn? I don't care. If it wasn't for Matthew Knowles, it would not be any Beyonce. Hey, please keep bringing up black dads. This is what I want. This is what I want. So yeah, RW. Thank you very much, Matthew Knowles. Yep, very, 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 very instrumental in Beyonce's career. Solange's career too, but I think Matthew Knowles knew where the money was. So, uh, uh, yeah, let's see. Absalom Pianki TV, what's going on? Uh, Constructive Consultant. It was loosely based on Eric Monte's life. In his own biographical book, he had a strong stepfather. Hmm. Said, what about the single father from Smart Guy? Yeah, man. Yeah, that was the show with the Maori twins' little brother. Uh, yeah, I don't remember him being a single father. Like the one where the twins were sister. He was a single dad. Yeah, and then Jackie, she was the mom of the other so-called. They just happen to look alike. I think that was the premise. Michael Jordan's dad. Uh, yeah, yeah, Michael Jordan's dad, or you mean Michael Jackson's dad? Because Michael Jordan's dad, I mean, he was in the public eye. You know, yeah, but Michael Jackson's dad, I did talk about Joe Jackson already. Uh, T.J. Henderson. Oh, okay. T.J. Henderson was played by Taj Mowry. He was the youngest member of the Henderson family. It just went right straight right to it. Shaq's dad. Oh, you talking about Fields, my father? Because biological didn't bother. Yeah, yeah, fathers as well as father figures. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and call like a father figure a beta or a simp or anything like that. I mean, seriously though, something need to happen with these boys around here. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, if Shaq said that Phil is my father, then Phil is his damn father, and that's all there is to it. So, father figures, you got the support. You got my support. I'm not gonna call you a simp. Only if you're being a simp will I call you a simp. But yeah, you was talking about app from the norms. 18 said Jordan's dad. Said Prime VA 75 said he went to Norfolk State. Who went to Norfolk State? Michael Jordan dad. I mean, oh yeah, Prime VA say yeah. Tim Ray, sister. He does a lot for the black community back home at VA. See, like, so where are all these positive black men coming from? Because a lot of us don't know about these positive black men out here and these positive black male images, and we act like they don't exist. They do exist. It just we act like they ain't there. But he must. Oh, Prime VA must be talking about Tim Reed. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I remember in the movie. Okay, so another spoiler. I remember in the movie they was doing the interview where the old dude was interviewing Venus Williams, and Venus was just looking him dead in his eyes like, yeah, I can do it because I know I can do it. I'm a beat. I'm the best. And he kept trying to ask her, "Oh, you sure? Are you sure?" And then he got. I mean, and then he got in the interviewer's ass. Like this man did not back down when it came to his kids. Alonzo that Hall, the All Star advisor. Go check out his channel. It said father figure would be the recently deceased coach for Georgetown. Hmm. Yeah, I'm googling these names. Okay, John Thompson, Hall of Fame basketball coach who led Georgetown University to national collegiate prominence and became the first African American coach to take a team to the NCAA basketball championship. Died on Sunday. He was 78. Mm, wow. Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Yeah, we talked about Reginald Vale Johnson, and he was the representation of the blue collar dad. I mean, they had Bill Cosby, who was a successful dad, so they needed someone who was just like a regular, ordinary, everyday, citizen. So that's where they came up with Carl Winslow, and Reginald Vale Johnson, he often played a cop. He played a cop in Die Hard. They put him there. So, um, Prime VA 757, Kobe Bryant, another great father who raises girls with his wife. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, it was definitely a shock to lose Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and also, the other people who were lost. There, my condolences to their families. But yeah, Kobe was training his daughter Gianna to just basically set the WNBA on fire because Lord knows they need something. But unfortunately, we know what happened. So rest in peace to Gianna and rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, the the great one. Black Mamba. Yeah, Damon Wayans. I mean, the Wayans family legacy is pretty much solidified. I mean, they're not doing much these days, but they're just enjoying the fruits of their labor. Yeah, Damon Wayans definitely. Yeah, he got his kid into the business. Like his son was in a minor role in the Harder They Fall, the the western, the black western on Netflix. Like the director, like don't refer to it as a black western. It's a black western. Shut up. We need to learn how to take pride in ourselves. The judge from Do the Right Thing. The judge from Do the Right Thing. What about the Rock Show Father? The Rock Show Father. What do you mean? Rocket Johnson? If you talking about Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Rocket Johnson, yeah, his dad was a professional wrestler. Like all of that is true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did do like an interview a while back. Kind of complaining about his father always being on the road, but like who why should we be surprised? But at the same time, yeah, he publicly the most part he loved his dad, and if it really wasn't for his dad, he probably wouldn't be where he was. So yeah, another black dad. Um, Dark Man 60, Terry Crews, Dwayne Martin. Are you just saying names? Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend. Mm. Yeah, you just black dad images. I get it. Black dad images. Terry Crews. Everybody hates Chris. Everybody hates Chris. Yeah, that was a positive black dad image. Dwayne Martin. What was he in? I forgot. Yeah, that show. I don't think lasted very long. Uh, Charles Dutton Rock. Robert Townsend, The Parenthood. Yeah, The Parenthood. Yeah, yeah, I remember that now. Fred Sanford. I mean, his son was grown. I mean, I get it, still. I mean, I wish like they'd have made Lamont a father in that show, just to see how that dynamic would have went. But I mean, Sanford and Son, that's a cult favorite. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, but Fred Sanford, Black Dad. Man, look, Ice Cube. Yeah, he got his son into the business. He teaching his kids generational wealth. And he tried to do something for our people, but some of us are so politically messed up. Flex Washington. Oh, when he was playing on that, yeah, I remember that show too. I forgot the name of the show. The Mayor and Do the Right Thing. Ozzie Davis. Yeah, Ozzie Davis. He was more so along the lines known for being married to Ruby D. Yeah, Andre Johnson. Blackish. Blackish. Ooh, I have mixed feelings about Blackish. I'm sorry. I mean, it was funny for a lot of it, but I don't know, man. It was just I felt as if it was. I don't know. Virtue signal. I feel like it's too many virtue signals, but I mean, it was good that it had a black show on it because I was not very happy with the lack at the time with the lack of black family shows, and then they brought Blackish to the air. I enjoyed Blackish when it first started, like for the first two seasons or so, but it just became a little bit, yeah, just didn't really just take my time out my schedule to really just sit down. Oh, Blackish is coming on. It wasn't like that. Uh, Furious Styles. Furious Styles stayed slapped in the middle of the hood, but he was the only positive man in all of the hood for some reason. He was the one that would go out and talk to the young men. Just that's what a lot of the complaint about like how men approach the hood is like in a very condescending manner. Like, I know I say things like Pookie this, Pookie that, but I try to make guys like that understand that you are a product of your situation. I didn't have that. I didn't have that kind of upbringing that you had. That doesn't mean that we can't try to work through it, but it's whatever on that. If there were more men like Furious Styles in the hood, would it make a difference? Maybe. But you, of course, have to be from the hood to be able to completely empathize and, identify with what's going on in the hood. I mean, I've stayed in a couple hoods temporarily, and, they weren't, at the end of the day, they weren't the best experiences, but I mean, it was whatever. It was like I feel confident about walking in places where people would normally think that I wouldn't belong. Delroy Lindo and Crooklyn. Yeah, I haven't watched Crooklyn in years. Like, yeah, I remember that film. Like, I think Alfred Woodard's character passing away, and they had some little joke about the South. But yeah, it was pretty good. We were seeing all these images and stuff. But yeah, let's see. The kids seeing red. Being BBH and Black Uru and She, we hear great dads. I appreciate that. Seriously, appreciate it. Roger reports dad, awesome father. All right. Avery Brooks, Captain Cisco, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Yeah, man, I remember Deep Space Nine, but that show didn't last very long. I was like, oh, they couldn't have a show out there like that. Yeah, but we see these images. You know, we see these images, and John Witherspoon and Friday. Mm. Now let's get back to the controversy. Yeah, it's like what would have why? And I think I'm gonna put a cap on this one. You know why I think a lot of them people really want, like, a lot, especially a lot of females, they wanted this story to be about Venus and Serena. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because they wanted to have that fairy tale ending where Serena marries the Reddit king. Oh my God, that would have been so beautiful. That's what they would be saying. Oh my God, that is so sweet. It brought a tear to my eye. The Reddit king. Who was gonna play the Reddit king? Deep Space Nine. Hey, Deep Space Nine was on the air for 7 years. DJ B side 1965. I stand corrected. I stand corrected and not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. So thanks for correcting me. Glenn Palmer in South Central, a reformed Pookie who saved his son from the same fate that nearly destroyed his life. Yeah, yeah, OG Bobby Johnson and Ray Ray. And Ray Ray ended up playing Bullhorn on Black Dynamite. But, yeah, yeah, this is an example of somebody who stumbled in their life, but doing whatever they can to make things right, especially for a child. They brought it to the world, and as I remember, the mama wasn't shit. Like, she is just falling all the way to fuck off. But I mean, it took him going to prison to get his stuff together. And then for him to fight, I mean, to go into the jaw, into the lion's den. Cause I remember, like, old dude, like, that the bigger one kept, like, He just kept looking at him like, man, fuck you and everything. He like, he beat the shit out of a couple dudes in that film. Like the white supremacists in jail. Like when he was in prison, he beat up the Aryan. Like, man, I always enjoy scenes like that. Hey. Here's one y'all haven't brought up yet. Here's one y'all haven't brought up yet. Samuel Jackson in A Time to Kill. Man, let me tell you something, man. When he came out that curtain and gunned them two dudes down, now I don't condone violence as the answer, but based on the circumstances in the film, man, it was like, okay, look, if somebody did that to your kid, what would you do? And then the lawyer was like, I don't know, oh well. Shoot, if he go through with it, so what? It's like he can't. Like he shot his best friend from childhood leg off trying to kill them dudes. And then when he got heated in court, it was yes they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell. I mean, you understood that. You understood it. Denzel and John Q held a hospital hostage to get his son a heart. It's like you gonna bring my son this heart. Period. Yeah, it's quite a few fictional examples. I mean, great, awesome. Paul Winfield and Sounder. People didn't even know that Cicely Tyson was older than him when the movie came out. Great father and great movie. Yeah, Paul Winfield also played one of the best portrayals of Martin Luther King that I'd ever seen. Shoot, another black father, Martin Luther King. You know, a lot of us have our feelings about him, and uh, at the same time, that's still like another black father. That was they've been trying to destroy him beyond his grave. I get it. Y'all mad at MLK because they said he was sleeping with white women. That's the cardinal sin right there. And the irony of the topic, and but Martin Luther King, he was a preacher. He was a married man. You supposed to be on some higher level stuff, but still is at the end of the day, it's still the demonization of a black man. Not saying that people who are wrong should not be held accountable. If you're wrong, you should be held accountable. But please try to back it up with something tangible. And that's with anyone. And that, like, even with Richard Williams, that, like, here's what kind of, and let me see if I can pull up the article. See, I'll pull up the articles. They was talking about some, because it was like they was talking about Richard Williams basically is incapacitated. Like Richard Williams was probably on his last leg, but they was talking about his criminal son was taking care of him. See, it's kind of BS I be talking about. Uh, his name is Shavoita Lisane, 48, who lives in Atlanta. Oh, he lives in Atlanta. Let's see. Let me share this screen real quick. Alright, just bear with me one moment. What's up, Chaos Rain? I see you down there. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's the headline. And shop at Kroger. Right, get off the screen. So, who is Richard Williams' mystery son? Trouble Shavoita Lisane is now dad's primary caregiver. It's like even when the son helps him, they ain't want to let this man off the hook. Chavotilly Sane has reportedly faced civil, domestic relations, and criminal proceedings as many as 61 times. It's like, wow, he's had a tumultuous life, yet he's in position to take care of his ailing father. I mean, I think that, who cares? Say Richard Williams, 79, is being cared for by a mystery son with a lengthy rap sheet after the tennis genius reportedly suffered two strokes. His health has been on the decline ever since 2016, and at present, he is completely reliant on his son with a criminal past. The news of Richard Williams' ailing health surfaced after tabloids reported about the Hollywood biopic King Richard, based on his life, starring Will Smith in the lead. The feature is inspired by his 2014 autobiography, Black and White, The Way I See It. Oh, okay, that's a pretty direct title. Yeah, so funny how the timing of all this came out. First of all, if he's caring for his dad, who the fuck cares about his criminal past? Who cares? And why this man ain't being cared for around the clock with nurses and doctors, for I mean, who I don't know, it may be a story behind that, but still though, it just you're doing everything you can to try to tarnish whatever legacy this man has. Now, I don't believe that would be that serious, but just what about this one right here? Let's see. Yeah, y'all see me typing. Williams' daughter. They called her a hidden daughter or something like that. See they. Let's see. Oh, good lord. Hey, shoot. Let me. This is relevant to the topic. See, I told you, man. They won't let it go. They won't let it. They won't let things be clean. I mean, they finna be on Richard Williams' tail forever now, just because Will Smith made a movie based upon this man's uh, not his life, because if they would have based it upon his life, they'd have been showing like kid Richard Williams growing up and meeting the wife and having Venus and Serena. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, it wasn't about his life per se. I mean, like I said, they weren't talking about kid Richard Williams, teenage Richard Williams, knocking all these women up, and then no, they started him at when he started to train Venus and Serena to be tennis champions. And this headline right here reads: Just a sperm donor, Serena Williams' dad, King Richard, was a serial cheat with up to 20 kids. Daughter claims. I don't know, man. He must have had some kind of like bad relationship with her, cause with the positive images that were just put on display in the chat. Um, Make sure that ain't nothing. I mean, one more time. Boom. With the positive images, it's like also you have these negative headlines and such. So when automatically when enclaves like the sisterhood or the divestment community or the bald eagle when they see articles like this, then they decide to build upon narratives based on this. So let's see what this article says.
Serena and Venus Williams' dad, Richard, was a serial cheat with up to 20 kids. His eldest daughter had told the Sun. I don't know. I've had elder relatives explain to me how there were black men who were basically traveling salesmen. If you know anything about that little story, but shoot, there was a lot of dick slinging going on back in that day, and a lot of this was very regular, and a lot of us ain't gonna want to admit it because look, I'm not looking for a perfect image for the black man. I'm looking for a way for black men to start asserting ourselves and start actually making some tangible change. But but it is what it is with some of us. Some of us are putting a lot of dick in a lot of these females, shooting their clubs up, and the results were a lot of kids. Not me. Shoot, but back in that day, boom, 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 boom. I mean, and we often put that kind of thing off on the Pookies in present day. Like, the case of the 4 men in Tennessee that got I think it was 8 men in Tennessee that had over 160 kids by 40 different women or something like that. I mean, I'll check out that story. I might do some kind of flashback video on it. But let me see what this article says. The tennis star's father, the focus of the new biopic King Richard. First line, because that's what's bothering them. See, let me highlight that line for y'all. This is what's bothering these folks. The tennis star's father, the focus of the new biopic King Richard, has been accused of a string of affairs that has just been dubbed just a sperm donor by Sabrina. Sabrina has dubbed her dad just a sperm donor. Now, see, here's what I'm getting from this already, because I really don't care how many kids Richard Williams has. And you can say, oh, you want this is black men don't know how to hold other black men accountable. You can say that, but like I said, I don't care. I don't care if he got 20 kids. I believe this woman just is trying to get a payday by digging up some dirt on her dad. And do we care to know what the relationship was? But Richard Williams is incapacitated, so he's not coherent enough to just tell this story and set the record straight. I mean, if the fact remains out, if he got 20 kids, then shit, that means that there's women out there that enabled him to impregnate them. It's just, hey, you know what? They was you're always saying this stuff. It takes two. It takes two. Okay, we're gonna imply this logic right here. Sabrina has dubbed her dad just a sperm donor, and that's unfortunate. Richard Williams, center with his daughters. Okay. She said, I know there's more siblings. I was told between 15 and 19 all over the place, from LA to Louisiana. Okay. Okay, I think this paragraph right here is important. I know there's more siblings. I was told between 15 and 19 all over the place, from LA to Louisiana, she told the Sun. My mom always argued with my dad about his affairs. He was a serial cheat. I remember that was always the main thing they talked about. He is a selfish man, lives only for himself. He just uses his kids to get what he needs. He's not a dad. He was just a sperm donor. He had 5 kids and left them to my mom to grow up in poverty and never once helped. Ooh, shit. 3 times married. Okay. All right. I don't know. Maybe he made the right decision. He went with the right family. I mean, what you want me to say about this? Shit happens. I mean, I would never be the one to suggest that a man abandons his children. No, I would never be the one to ever suggest that. But look at that second line. My mom always argued with my dad about his affairs. He was a serial cheat. Does that mean your mom stayed after she was cheated on? Now, hey, you know what? Look, when you find out your man is cheating, you have a decision to make right then and there. Either you're going to stay with him or you're going to leave him. If you stay, hey, that's just like a man who puts up with a woman's cheating. It is your fault. Period. Give a fuck. I mean, it's wrong that he feels that he has to go outside to get some kind of sweet loving or whatever. But if you're always arguing, that means that you're kind of a shitty person yourself, and it's just, I just think But do y'all believe, like in the chat, do y'all believe that this is just a case of clout chasing? That she may be a little bitter and upset that that he didn't pay attention to focus on them, to get them the same level of success. Maybe he had difficulties with the mom. That's why he didn't participate in the other children's lives. I mean, do you think he's a messed up person for that? Do you believe that you don't have enough information to make a judgment? Such as me. What I'm saying. I mean, like I said, now I would never suggest anyone make kids that they ultimately will not take care of. And I'm talking to the men. And I mean, like, because a lot of the females, they're already making that decision that even if the kid living with them, they don't take care of them. And I think this is what's happening in this case. Just if he was a sperm donor, hey, you know what? There was somebody to donate to. But I'm just saying, I'm not sitting up here. I'm not deciding. But I mean, it's kind of hard to call him a deadbeat dad. Maybe he's half of one. I don't know. Just saying, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you're talking about the father of Venus and Serena Williams. The fact, not the fact. Cause okay, here's what it is. There's two sides to his story. The whole story is not being told, and because this man is getting attention because of this film, this young lady decides that she might as well cash in too. He owed me something for me being born. Hey, but hey, you know what? Whatever. Sorry about that. Alright. Ayatollah Black Martian, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Indigenous TV, white fathers are virtuous. They never make mistakes, right? No. Hey, you know what though, man? You know what? They do like the white father image. They depict them as slobs, bitter, angry ass man. Like, seriously, the white father image on TV is kind of the antithesis of the black father image. I mean, look at it. Al Bundy, Archie Bunker, Homer Simpson. Kristen Minaj, how are you doing? Is it just a sperm donor, as if sperm doesn't consolidate legacy? Up from the norm 18. God blessed him to train two super athletes out of Compton. She better teach her kids to pick up racket instead of complaining. I was like, you got Richard Williams genetics, but not Richard Williams brains. And savvy. The man had savvy. What about the father from Full House? Oh man, Bob Saget. Bob Saget turned from like a he was from a lily white TV dad to the host of America's Funniest Home Videos to one of the most vulgar comedians you ever want to listen to. That man was almost Andrew Dice Clay level. I mean, Bob Saget. I mean, for real. Like, it really did, man. I mean, Bob Saget, like like, when I saw him in Half Baked, I was like, that's the dad from Full House. What happened? And he was in the rehab scene. He was the one that was like, okay, disclaimer. This is a line that I'm about to say from the movie Half Baked with Bob Saget. Bob Saget said this line right here. I suck dick for coke, and that's an addiction, man. I seen him. You know, David said I seen him. It's like, what the fuck? He said, yeah, it was like Thurgood, the character Dave. I mean, y'all seen this film. Thurgood, the character Dave Chappelle played, went to rehab for marijuana because he wanted to get better for his girlfriend Mary Jane, played by Rachel True. Now, ultimately, did that make Thurgood a simp because he wanted to stop smoking weed for a female? Maybe according to some members of the manosphere. But, I mean, nah, I mean, I'm split right there. I just thought Half Baked was a funny film. But he went to rehab, and there was Bob Saget talking about he sucked dick for coke. Is that Bob was off the chain on HBO Entourage? Oh, I didn't know he was in Entourage. I remember him being in Dumb and Dumberer about the younger versions of Lord and Harry. And, you know, if you've seen that movie, you'll know about the bathroom scene. uh, but let's not go off into white dad, right? We talking about black dads right now. Yeah, yeah. You know, black dads such as Richard Williams, LeVar Ball, Phil. You know, superstar athlete dads. Like, how many black dads did you see out there for real? Like, in the superstar athletes. You know, in the maybe Steph Curry's dad. You know, like is like I said, I'm not saying it's needed because it's already out there. It's already out there, and I will continue to say that you need to pay attention, but it's indigenous TV. Said there's no difference between Cliff Huxtable and Danny Tanner, but Bob was America's dad. Yeah, because he was white. He was that image they wanted, man. I mean, he had his two cool friends that stayed with him. You know, one funny, one was, I guess, the ladies' man until he got married and had twins. You know, Full House was that garden variety white family television series. I'm a little late. How about Patricia Coley? What's going on? Good to see you. Say I'm a little late. How about Hal Williams from 227 with Marla Gibbs? Oh yeah, yeah. I remember Lester. Lester and Regina King was the daughter. You know, Calvin stayed across the hallway with his grandmother. Yeah. Speaking of Regina King, hell of a performance in The Harder They Fall. But Regina King is aged extremely well. But I remember Lester. Man, I remember, like, I don't know, somebody in my family was talking about Lester was ugly. I mean, roasting the shit out of him. But he was also in Sanford and Son. Remember the two cops, Smitty and Sal? He was Smitty. Tiger Woods' father, Earl Woods. I remember that interview. I think it was the Oprah interview where Tiger Woods Was talking about he was cobbling Asian. You know, he was all these races. And you know, cause black people have a tendency, you know, if we got a black relative somewhere in the family tree, we want them to be black. Yeah. So, but I remember Earl Woods was sitting right beside him. He was saying, and they asked him the question, "What race do you tell Tiger he's a part of?" And then Earl Woods answered, "The human race." And then everybody was like applauding, like, you know, they had caught the virtue signal. Yeah, oh yeah, human race, like MLK. Patricia Cole, he was a sergeant in the movie Private Benjamin. You talking about what Goldie Hawn was sleeping with all these men? You talking about the movie, not the television show. Hmm. Yeah, but let me ask, like I said, let me ask the chat a question. Do you believe? Do you believe? Oh, he played both. He played in both. Okay, okay. So he played in both. Patricia Coley. I mean, seriously, Venus and Serena Williams wanted this movie done right. And Will Smith had to film the movie first, do a lot of deep research in order to get it done. And yet, and still, it caught backlash. You know, why did it catch backlash? Why was it? Do people really care that Richard Williams wasn't there for some of his kids? And obviously he was there for the kids that mattered, or is it just they don't want a positive image of the black father, or is it they don't want a positive image of the black man? And the fact that we all have to think about all of those factors is a damn shame. You know, when this happens, and you know, you have to start planning to make a, how should I put it, to make a sensible pushback. You know, no belly aching, no victimhood, just actual tangible change with an organized push. So we can work. So we can start working toward changing the narrative when shit like this happens. You know, when yes, idiots like Amanda Seales say stuff like this. And Hybrid said, "What about Nick Cannon?" Boy, that man, well, I tell you the truth. That man is fathering up, man. That man is fathering the shit out of some kids, man. Man, did you see that, man? That person said, asked Nick Cannon who his favorite baby mama. And then he said his favorite baby mama is his next baby mama. Oh, God. The Indigenous TV, Anthony Mackie is our only hope right now with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Best portrayal of what a black man is thus far. I'm keeping my fingers crossed though. And I'm with you on that, man. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that too, because the way Disney be trying to pull some stuff, man. But hey, it's we'll see on that one. We will see. They already tried to put his sister with a white boy though. I'm just saying. No, not dick policing or nothing like that. But but let me get back to my closing statement, because it was my closing statement. Uh, yeah, we as black men, we do need an organized, tangible push back on the narratives, and we're not only doing it for ourselves, but we're doing this for future generations to come. Period. I mean, there are more stories like Richard Williams out there, but because of the way the media treats us as black men, you don't hear them very often. I mean, I grew up in an environment where black dads were pretty much there for their children. And then, like I said, I do understand that it isn't like that for everyone. And, I don't want to become one of those influencers that believe that my situation is everyone else's situation. And that's the bottom line because I said so. That's not the message that I'm trying to deliver. Well, what I am saying is this. What I am saying is this. As long as there is negativity about black men and black dads, there will be men like me that are always going to give the sensible pushback. Yeah. Stop trying to deny black dads our place just because you want to listen to the narratives pushed by WS and Euro feminists like this young lady on the screen here, Dr. Jessica Taylor. Are you that mad? Because I mean, a lot of you out there, and I'm gonna say in the female population, a lot of you out there that's pushing this kind of narrative, like I'm not gonna support King Richard and King Richard was deadbeat dad. Guess what? You're mad because your baby daddy ain't there. Sorry, that's just what it is. And y'all love when people do shit like this. Y'all love when people say shit like this. Now, granted, Amanda Seales is obnoxious. She shares a sentiment that a lot of sisters have because the relationship didn't go exactly as planned for them. But you can't apply it to all situations. You can't be mad at me just because your pookie baby daddy ain't there. And you can be mad at Richard Williams all y'all want because because they made a movie about him shaping the careers of two mega successful world class athletes. People aren't perfect. People make mistakes. But sometimes their good works outweigh their mistakes. And that's just the way it is. Who are any of you to judge? Any of you. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is for me. Who are any of you? I think this was the line that probably said that this was the line that was in this scene that probably made Venus and Serena finally say, "Okay, we'll go ahead and put our name on it." He's saying that he was telling her the important message is that that when you go out there, you'll be representing every little black girl in the world. And I mean, I get it. Like just at that time, we didn't unless you were just some kind of wild celebrity, and especially in the athletic world, women and especially black women weren't getting that kind of shine. So I understand the impact and the intensity of a line like that. you know. But in short, like Will Smith, like I said, he even though he was Will Smithy with it, he always is. Will Smith did an excellent job with this film, presenting it in a way that got the approval from Venus and Serena Williams themselves. Now, if Venus and Serena said that, hey, this film was garbage, I really, you gave our dad more than he deserved, then hey, I can understand where the vitriol would come from. But they didn't do that. And I don't think they've ever publicly disparaged their father. Because at the end of the day, whatever he didn't do with his other kids, and I'm sorry to say this, not sorry, whatever he didn't do with his other kids, he more than made up for it with them. So anyway, that'll be it for now. This is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. This was my first broadcast on my BMBBH Facebook page. Uh, if you're on Facebook, type in the letters BMBBH and then type in YouTube, and you should find this. You should find the page with this avatar on it. Probably gonna start broadcasting from inside the actual Facebook group where I started on social media. And maybe I will tell you how to get access to that if you stick around long enough. So I do agree, Patricia Crowley. There's a lot of ugly jealousy out there. I mean, you know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd be mad too if my dad had another family and he paid attention to them, and those kids went on to become mega successful. Here, look at me. But once you become an adult, your destiny is in your hands. All right. So anyway, what's going on, Stoic One? I see you down there. Thanks for coming by, as always. And there it is. Tomorrow night, I will be back, and I really enjoyed talking about this. Especially as a father myself. I feel this kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like whenever black dads are mentioned, the go-to is negative. And black men, we must do what we can to gain some momentum and one day completely overturn the narrative. And, amongst other things, that's what's important. So that's it for now. This is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Till next time.